Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Fritz Schroeder, and welcome to the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership virtual lecture as part of Lancaster Water Week 2020. Water Week's success in elevating clean water issues here in Lancaster County is only possible because of partnerships, and today we feature two partners in Turkey Hill Dairy, our presenting sponsor since 2017, and the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, one of our earliest and most committed partners. The fact that they have joined forces to create real and measurable change within our agricultural community demonstrates the type of progress Lancaster is making. Today's presentation is being recorded and will be shared with everyone who pre-registered. We have a number of other virtual lectures coming up this week. This evening, we will be joined by Ben Weber and Ruth Hocker for a presentation on the history of the Conestoga River. Tomorrow at noon, we will be joined by Kate Austin and Elise Jurgen for a pollinator and rain garden design lecture. If you haven't already, please consider taking the Water Week pledge to take action to clean up our local streams. With your pledge, you get a free kit with helpful information and a free native tree or shrub. To sign up for an event or to take the pledge, please visit lancasterwaterweek.org. Finally, Water Week is only possible because of the very generous support of our sponsors. These are local organizations and businesses that are passionate about clean water. Through their generous support, we are able to host these events, and they've helped us contribute over $120,000 in grants to clean water implementation here in Lancaster County. As our presenting sponsor, Turkey Hill Dairy has shared their incredible assortment of ice cream and drinks to keep everyone at our in-person events smiling and happy. Who doesn't love ice cream on a hot summer day? As you'll learn today, their commitment to the cause is substantial. And the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay is the boots on the ground and has been the lead organization in helping us organize the Conestoga cleanup each Water Week. We encourage you to participate in the self-guided Conestoga Plus cleanup this year. I want to personally thank Turkey Hill Dairy and the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, along with all of our sponsors on the screen for their continued support. With that, I want to introduce today's presenters. First up will be Jenna Mitchell, the Pennsylvania State Director of the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. Lindsay Reams will follow. She's the Director of Sustainability and External Relations for the Maryland and Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association. And from Turkey Hill Dairy, we are joined by Andrea Nicholas, the Public Relations and Digital Coordinator. Take it away, Jenna.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Fritz. Just want to make sure, are we good to go? Looks good. So thank you again. I'm so grateful. There we go. Now we're good. So grateful to be celebrating Water Week with you all to discuss this partnership. Very, very, very exciting partnership between the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, Turkey Hill Dairy, and Maryland Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association. So my name, as Fritz said, is Jenna Mitchell, and I am the Pennsylvania State Director at the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. I just wanted to share a little bit about the Alliance. We have offices in Annapolis, Maryland, Washington, D.C., Richmond, Virginia, and our Pennsylvania office is actually located in downtown Lancaster, right on Orange Street. And our mission is to bring together the communities, companies, and conservationists within the Chesapeake Bay watershed to improve the lands and waters of the Chesapeake Bay watershed. So this partnership has been a dream for us. It's been an absolutely wonderful opportunity to work with Turkey Hill Dairy, Maryland Virginia Co-op, and the farmers that supply milk, the member farms of Maryland Virginia Co-op that supply milk to Turkey Hill Dairy. And improving their impact on water quality. So I am going to share a little bit of background on how this project evolved. And then from there, I'm going to hand it over to Lindsay Reams of Maryland Virginia Co-op and Andrea Nicholas of Turkey Hill Dairy to share a little bit more about our work and all that we've accomplished together. There we are. So I want to draw your attention to the image on the right. So that is of the Chesapeake Bay, and that red area that you can see is what we refer to as a dead zone. And a dead zone is an area where for a certain number of months throughout the year, it's usually in the summer, that red area is completely depleted of oxygen. And that occurs because excess nutrients, so nutrients are usually a good thing. That's what we put on our plants to help them stay alive and thrive. But oftentimes the land is getting too many nutrients applied to it, and that excess is ending up in the bay. And when we have too much nitrogen and phosphorus, that feeds an overgrowth of algae. And then when that algae dies and bacteria breaks it down, the bacteria uses up all of the oxygen in the water for that, to break that algae down, and actually leaves no more oxygen left in that water. And the life that should exist in that area actually has to escape to, another region of the water where there is still oxygen remaining. So there's actually pictures of crabs sort of grasping, for air, trying to escape this water that has no more oxygen left in it. So this is a big issue in the Chesapeake Bay. And really the reason that a lot of our work exists, and why there's so many folks rallying around the restoration of the Chesapeake Bay. So a little bit lesser known is that Pennsylvania's water quality is actually not quite in perfect shape either. So all of the red that you see on this map of Pennsylvania on the image on the left is what we call an impaired stream. So you may wonder what an impaired stream is. The easiest definition of an impaired stream is that 70% of the life that should exist in that waterway can no longer exist. So I like to think about that as the canary in the coal mine. 70% of our canaries can no longer exist in our streams. So that's pretty significant. Again, looking back at this map of Pennsylvania, there's a lot of red on that map. That's a lot of impaired streams throughout Pennsylvania. And you may see that in our county, Lancaster County, almost a significant portion of our county is impaired. And this means that not only the wildlife that should exist in that stream can't exist, but it's actually at the level where it's impacting our lives and our ability to recreate in these waterways. I'm sure many of you enjoy tubing or enjoy kayaking. A lot of my friends and I used to tube on the Conestoga until a few years ago. We all ended up with flu-like symptoms after being on the Conestoga. And the only connection that we all shared between, what we ate, what we had been doing was the Conestoga River. And we realized that it was the river itself that had made us sick. So this is really, the health of our local waterways is really starting to impact our quality of life. And there's, certainly work that we need to do, thus events like Water Week. But additionally, community groups and businesses within the county are starting to realize that there's work to be done and an opportunity to make an impact. And just about 4 years ago, the Alliance began conversations with Turkey Hill Dairy. And as soon as Turkey Hill learned about, the state of water quality in the county, Turkey Hill, being the tremendous leader that they are for us in Lancaster, immediately wanted to do something. And so we shared with Turkey Hill that only about 50% of the farms in Lancaster have a conservation plan. And a conservation plan is basically the most basic plan that a farmer can use to understand how, his or her soil and how his or her manure may be impacting, the stream that runs nearest to their farm. And, that's sort of the first step in improving our local waterways, is getting our farms conservation plans. Something else that, is important to understand the work that we need to do is that a lot of our farmers are plain sect and therefore don't necessarily find working with the government a comfortable step that they'd like to take in improving their farm operations. So they don't necessarily want to take advantage of the federal or state cost share that might exist to help them make improvements to their farm. So Turkey Hill put these facts together and realized that there was a pretty significant opportunity for them to make an impact themselves, and also really make an impact on how businesses in general can think through their operations to support the community. And so Turkey Hill ended up writing into their contract that they were currently bidding out to find a new dairy co-op who would supply all of the milk that they use to make their ice cream. And Maryland, Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association, who we refer to as Maryland, Virginia for short, they responded to that bid very positively, and we're excited to join forces with the Turkey Hill team, as well as the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, to enter into this new effort together to try to get all of the farmers that supply milk to obtain a conservation plan, and then once we got plans, help those farmers implement the practices within that plan to make sure that they were lessening their impact on water quality locally. And so this is really, really exciting for a couple reasons. As I mentioned before, the Plain Sect, our Amish and Mennonite farmers in Lancaster County aren't comfortable engaging with the government. And so when the government says you need to do X, Y, Z, that's not often well received by our Plain Sect farmers. However, in this case, Turkey Hill, who's purchasing their milk from them, is saying, we want to do this. And it's something that we think is going to, help our story. Our farmers have been much, much more receptive to Turkey Hill asking for, some new goals to be met as far as how they're operating on the ground. And then additionally, the Alliance, we work every day to engage with farmers and meet new farmers and, develop new ways that we can support our farmers in improving their operations to lessen their impact on our local rivers and streams. And with the creation of this partnership, we had access to now almost 200 farmers that we, could communicate with directly and provide funds to directly. And so this has been a huge game changer in the conservation world and the Chesapeake Bay watershed and beyond. We're not aware of any other partnership that exists quite like this in the nation or even in the country. So we are just so thrilled to be working with Turkey Hill and Maryland, Virginia, and just so grateful for their leadership to enter, into this new unknown world of conservation and support of farmers. So I'm going to hand it over to Lindsay Reams from Maryland, Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association to share a little bit more with you.
Thanks, Jenna. And as she said, I work for Maryland and Virginia Milk Producers. We are a regional milk marketing cooperative. We have over 900 family farms that own our organization, and we're located from New York to Georgia. But the majority of our farms are located within the Chesapeake Bay watershed. So we saw the opportunity to partner with the Alliance and with Turkey Hill as a way to really step up our presence in conservation and in sustainability and create a new model to source dairy. I know a lot of us have heard commitments that corporations make to sustainability, but Turkey Hill has really not only made the commitment, but they've made the investment. When we started this partnership, they came to us and said, we know that farmers are responsible stewards. We know that they want to do the right thing, but a lot of times there's roadblocks and there are reasons that certain practices haven't been implemented. So we want to come together, form this partnership to develop real solutions that are going to support the farmers that are supplying them, not just put a requirement in place and say, y'all figure out how to make this happen. So this has been a true partnership and it continues to grow. And as Jenna mentioned, we really see this as a model for others to use in their supply chains going forward. And on the next slide, Jenna, we're going to talk a little bit about why a dairy co-op got involved in conservation. So for those of you that have joined in, if you're familiar at all with dairy or dairy farms, a cooperative is an organization that an individual dairy farm joins and the co-op agrees to market their milk on their behalf. And historically, dairy cooperatives have just been very focused on marketing that milk, finding a customer, and selling the milk. Over the past 10 years, that landscape has really changed. We've seen a number of end consumers that are very interested in where their food's coming from. They want to be assured that their food is coming from a good place and that they can buy brands and products like Turkey Hill that have made commitments in their brand declarations to source their dairy from a sustainable source. So when Turkey Hill came to us, as Jenna mentioned, to supply them a couple years ago, we saw this as an opportunity to really develop a dairy sustainability department within our cooperative, and realized the first step that we needed to take was educating and engaging our current staff. So we had a full day training session where Jenna and a number of members of her team came and worked with my staff, and we really did Conservation 101. And we realized after going out into the field and starting the project, we needed to do even more as a dairy co-op to really take this partnership to the next level. And so we've invested in our own staff, and now we have a sustainability team that's delivering the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership and our other sustainability programs directly to our member farms. So we have made really a huge shift in our organization and are starting to see the dividends pay off because we are the leader through this partnership in Pennsylvania and within our milk shed in conservation. And through the partnership with the Alliance and with Turkey Hill, we've been able to develop relationships with others within the conservation community. When Fritz showed the organizations that are supporting Water Week, I recognized a number of those logos, and we've started conversations with them to say, how can we partner and how can we bring more resources and replicate this model for more farms so we can have a greater impact. And the ultimate goal is to have a sustainable supply chain where we have a full commitment really from the end product all the way down to the farm level. And on the next slide, I'm going to get into a little bit more details around how we started. Like I said, we started with education, and the education not only was through my staff that are going out on field to talk with the farms, but also with our members. We have a number of farmers that had never seen a dairy co-op, a customer, a nonprofit get involved in conservation. And I can tell you it was a very easy conversation to have when we started the project because through Jenna's leadership with the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, we were able to have seed dollars through a conservation innovation grant to fully pay for conservation plans and nutrient management plans being developed. So when my staff went out on farm, they were able to go out to the farm and say, you know, this is a new requirement. Let's check your records, see where you're at. If you need to have a plan developed, we're gonna help you get there and we're gonna fully pay for that. And that's a level of support that frankly, we've never seen from a customer. So it made the program be readily accepted at the farm level, and we've been able to increase the acceptance and reach at the farm level as we've been able to get more dollars. And we've also moved on to phase 2 of the project. So it started with conservation compliance, going out, checking where the farms are at, and now we're in plan implementation. So for those of you that are familiar with a conservation plan, it's a very lengthy document and outlines projects and plans that need to be in place that are very specific to each individual farm. And some of these projects can be very costly. They can be hundreds of thousands of dollars. So that's one of the impediments at the farm level. The farm economy has been very depressed the last 5 years, and this year has been a roller coaster, to say it nicely, at the farm level. So bringing a level of support to help our farms invest in their operations really is something that has never happened before. We have a waiting list now of farms that are ready for project implementation, and Jenna and her team are actively working trying to find additional dollars. And we've completed 22 projects on the ground. This picture right here is one of our member farms. They had a heifer facility completed, and we've also increased the amount of farms that are supplying Turkey Hill. When we started the project, we had about 60 family farms that were shipping into Turkey Hill, and now we're up to over 177 farms. And of those farms, 96% of them have their conservation plans completed. The remaining 4% are new farms that are shipping into Turkey Hill that we are in process of getting out there and checking their compliance and getting the plans completed. So right now, I think our only impediment to continue to move forward is finding more grant dollars and finding more support for the project. And on the next slide, you'll see some pictures of projects that we have completed. On the left hand is a stabilized barnyard and heifer raising facility. The Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership didn't fund the entire project, but we were able to organize the project and then find additional dollars. So in addition to the $2 million in grant funding that we've received, we've been able to leverage additional funding sources at the state and national level to bring real resources to these farms. And on the right is a waterway that was installed on one of our member farms. And the next couple slides we're going to show are some pictures of projects. On the left-hand side of the screen, back in the fall, we had the opportunity to do a tree planting on one of our member farms. And to me, this really shows the partnership in action. We have employees from Turkey Hill, from the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, and from Maryland and Virginia. We all came together and completed a day of service and were able to install a riparian buffer on one of our member farms. And we've had a number of these scheduled, and we've had to just continue to pivot in 2020, but we're hopeful we can get back out on farm and complete more of these buffers in the coming months and years. And on the next page are some more capital projects that we've completed on member farms. On the left is manure storage. And what manure storage allows a farm to do is hold the manure from the cows until the time is right to spread it in a way that's going to be responsible and limit any runoff that could come from spreading those nutrients on the field. So that's really key to being a responsible steward as a dairy farmer. And the other projects are ones that we've been able to support to help with heifer raising and stabilizing barnyards to limit runoff from those operations and soil erosion. And it also helps with the animal well-being. When they're able to eat under cover, it overall just improves the sustainability of the farm operation. And because of the work that we have done, as Jenna mentioned, this is the first in the kind in the country. This year we received national recognition from the Innovation Center for U.S. Dairy. We were the only project awarded the Outstanding Supply Chain Collaboration Award earlier this year, and it recognizes truly innovative projects and approaches that they hope others will replicate across the country. So through this award, we've really had a national platform to talk about this project and the work that we're doing, and we're hoping others will take notice and find ways to truly invest at the farm level and the entire sustainable supply chain. So this has been a great opportunity, and I'd like to thank you all for tuning in to learn a little bit more about our project. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Andrea from Turkey Hill.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us today. We really do appreciate it. On behalf of Turkey Hill, welcome. And we're really excited. A lot of the things that I will say will also echo the things that Jenna and Lindsay talked about. So that's, again, a great reason why our partnership works so well. Our goals going into this partnership were aligned right away. And I think that was one of our biggest strengths and continues to be one of our biggest strengths in this partnership. So I'm going to kick off on the Turkey Hill Dairy side of things just to talk about the why. Why, 4 years ago when we met with the Alliance, did we think this was important? As we all know, clean water affects everybody. And to have clean water is something that we all need, not just as humans, but animals and everybody just to function. And so we knew that that was a struggle, specifically in Lancaster County. And we knew that we wanted to do something about it. And part of that derives from our commitment to sustainability to begin with. Turkey Hill has a responsibility, and we know we have a responsibility as a company to watch our environmental footprint and monitor our resources, and not just for our company, but for the community and the world. If you're not aware, Turkey Hill is very into green initiatives. We have the 2 wind turbine partnership with our local municipal waste company that is located near Turkey Hill location. And also we have other green initiatives on top of that as well that we continue to grow, and as well with this partnership. So it's definitely an ongoing goal of ours, and this partnership just fit right into our overall goals as a company. And we're just ecstatic to have this opportunity today to share that with you. As noted, this is a commitment of being a change agent. You know, we knew going into this some of the bumps in the road, that, you know, working with the Plains Sec mainly, and just resources. And so we knew right up front that we wanted to provide an incentive, a premium to our farmers who fulfilled these goals and requirements that we were asking them. But along the way to meet those requirements, we also, as a partnership, wanted to provide them with the resources. We did not, as a company, want to feel that we were saying, hey, here's all these requirements, now it's all up to you guys to figure it out. That's not how we wanted to work this. And so we knew that with the help of Maryland and Virginia and the alliance, that we wanted to provide them not just the incentive and the funding, but the resources to be able to give them, hey, this is who you need to talk to about this. This is who we're going to help you connect to. So it was making all those connections and making sure that they felt that they were part of the team, as well as the farmers providing the milk to the dairy. As noted earlier too, this model of a partnership is meant to be replicated. When we say that, it's not just companies. We hope that companies out there, and we know there's already companies out there of interest that have reached out to us and said, we want to do something like this, you know, here's what we're thinking. And that is amazing. That is one of our goals overall, that, you know, companies start thinking about how they can take this and mold it into something that can work for them. But also replication, meaning as a consumer, somebody out there, it's your responsibility as well. And we hope you do, you take the initiative to start thinking about, you know, the brands that you purchase and day-to-day things that you consume, whether it's food or hygiene products or anything. You have the right to start questioning, what are your brands doing as far as clean water and other green initiatives. So I urge you to, you know, take the opportunity and call those companies, call those brands, and start asking yourself and them, what are they doing? And as a consumer, start thinking about some of the things around your own house, your own community, just like Water Week this week. There's definitely plenty of opportunities this week where you can get involved and get your family involved and make a difference. It might be a small difference, but it's definitely a good difference and a step moving forward. And then I'm going to talk about a little bit about our brand pillar, point of differentiation. You know, we knew it was important to get the word out there. And from our angle, Turkey Hill Dairy, it's our consumers. So, you know, we definitely appreciate the media picking up on this and getting the word out. That's a huge benefit to us. But we also wanted to make sure that our consumers, the everyday person, the general public out there is receiving this message, and just knowing the things that this partnership is fulfilling and doing. And then also, again, how can they start thinking about what they're doing day to day, or, you know, again, reiterating what the companies that they're purchasing from. So that also helps the awareness of this partnership, and then builds on that. So word of mouth, and just talking about, you know, how can we get involved and what can we do? So it just builds onto that, and the awareness is definitely important to us. Also the long-term commitment here. This isn't something where it's like, okay, you know, we got the grants and we started this and now we're leaving it and we're going. This is an ongoing partnership. This is an ongoing commitment. We continue to think of ways that we can continue to grow this, new goals. I'll never forget when we would meet in the first couple months of kicking off and getting those grants and being like, okay, we have 20 conservation plans, and that was great. And like it just is so amazing to see how this partnership has grown and made such a difference in the last 2 years. And we are so looking forward to what the next 2 years plus will bring. And to be recognized with that award just goes to show that we're heading in the right direction. And we just can't wait to see what the future has to hold for this partnership. Amplifying. So part of the Turkey Hill Dairy, like I mentioned, media outreach is very important. So we looked at all types of opportunities to bring awareness through PR efforts, to on the ground, to, you know, Water Week, utilizing those types of events, sampling events where there would be speaking opportunities. Jenna and I just recently, in the beginning of the year, went out to Vegas to speak to, you know, people who are in the environmental and business, I would say, and profession, and they were just so on board. It was great to see from different angles and different all around the nation, and seeing what they were doing and seeing how excited they were to see us there. So it was just a great opportunity again to build that awareness. And of course, there's always social media, which is just booming and not going anywhere. So we utilize our Turkey Hill Nation, our Instagram, our Facebook, our Twitter to talk about this partnership anytime we get a chance to. It's definitely a way to bring awareness in a broader way, and it's just great. We're also in the early stages of working on an interactive experience at the Turkey Hill Experience. If you're not aware of that, that is located in Columbia, PA. So we're in the early phases of bringing some kind of interactive portion to the experience where it would talk about this partnership. So that's definitely something. So we're always thinking about, you know, how can we build onto that awareness? How can we get this message out to more people, whether it's hands-on conversations, utilizing Collateral. So we're definitely finding new ways to amplify this partnership and building onto it as well. And the next, I think it's this slide and the next slide, just showcases some of the Collateral we've worked with. I know it's hard to see, but I actually do have one of the shirts on today that we utilize, but you can see some of the pieces that we've created with the partnership and worked along. We used a Snapchat filter in some of our events that has gone very well. T-shirts, attire, pull-up banners, backdrops so that they could take pictures and share it on social media. We've had a number of stickers made just to, again, amplify, get it out there, the word out there, have people ask more questions about it. So we continue to build onto this portfolio as well. And then here is going to be a short video that just kind of sums up everything visually about the partnership. So we're excited to showcase that.
100 years ago, more than 50% of the population was involved in farming. Now we've come down to where it's like 1%, and you guys feed all of us.
We had 120 cows when I was a kid. Now it's 850 cows. And the amount of manure that we deal with has changed.
EPA has set specific standards that need to be met by year 2025 regarding runoff of phosphorus, nitrogen, and various sediments into the bay. Along with that is an obligation on farmers, and developing this partnership to create a solution that's going to enable farmers to get the resources that it's going to take to clean up the waterways are critically important to us.
The expertise that the Alliance has been able to bring in, and along with their partners and the people who have given us grants, has just been amazing.
Turkey Hill has asked for this increased level of conservation on their farms, and we've all worked together to build a new structure and support system for these farmers.
Better the environment, better their farm, better their product, everything.
So I'll wrap it up here. We have a few other things that we want to talk about, but I'll wrap up my portion by saying that video is great, and we have other videos and other visuals. If you want a full version of that video, you can visit Turkey Hill's YouTube page, but also here, please follow us. We're always sharing things about the partnership on our Facebook and Snapchat, and of course our websites. Please reach out to us if you have questions. But yes, we are excited to continue to grow this partnership. We have made such great strides, and we're so excited that we had the opportunity today to share those strides that we've made. So I think I'm going to hand it over to Jenna, and she's going to have some fun with you guys.
Thank you, Andrea. Alrighty, so we have just a short game prepared for you all today. So if you can pull out your phone and go to ahaslides.com/THCWP in all caps, that is going to take you or give you access to the game that we've got prepared. And don't worry, because I'm about to switch my screen, but the link will be on the new screen as well.
It's in the chat as well.
Thank you, Lindsay. Alrighty. So I'll give everyone just a few more moments to join. Yeah, and I guess you can go right ahead and start answering if you'd like. So the question that we have on this first slide is, what is the catchphrase of, oh, you know what? I apologize, everyone. It looks like we have started, that was the last question. So let's start back at the beginning, but we'll get there at the end. So thank you for those that took a jump start on the first question. So what watershed does the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership focus on? Is it the Chesapeake Bay watershed, the Mississippi River watershed, or the Colorado River watershed? Awesome. Everyone, looks like we've got pretty much everyone, but yes, you are all correct. It is the Chesapeake Bay watershed. Very good. Alrighty, so next question is, what pollutants is the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership concerned with? Is it plastics, nutrient and sediment pollution, noise pollution, or pharmaceutical pollution? Very good, you are all straight A students. So what dairy cooperative supplies Turkey Hill Dairy's milk? Is it the Dairy Farmers of America, Maryland Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association, or Land O'Lakes? Very good, everyone. Next question, which of the following practices does the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership not support farmers in implementing? So we've got riparian forest buffers, grass waterways, manure storage facilities, and vegetable gardens. Good job, everyone. It is in fact vegetable gardens. We do not support farmers in that practice, but we do a whole bunch of riparian forest buffers, grass waterways, manure storage facilities, and other practices. Next, which local nonprofit organization supports the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership? Is it the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay, the Humane League of Lancaster County, Lancaster Public Libraries, or the Lancaster Family YMCA? Great job, everyone. It is the Alliance for the Chesapeake Bay. All right, this is a harder one. How many Maryland and Virginia Milk Producers Cooperative Association member farmers supply milk to Turkey Hill Dairy? All righty, it is 177. Good job, everyone. So this is a true or false question. All farmers that supply to Turkey Hill Dairy, are they located in Pennsylvania? Alrighty, so this one is true. So Turkey Hill Dairy, passionate about Pennsylvania, has in their contract that all the farmers that are supplying to them must be located in Pennsylvania. So majority are actually in Lancaster County, and then we have a few more located throughout south central Pennsylvania, but they are all in fact located in Pennsylvania. And then last question, which some of you guys got a head start on, I apologize for that confusion. What is the catchphrase? Is it ice cream, you scream, we all scream for clean streams? Is it ice cream and clean streams for all? Or is it healthy streams for yummy ice cream? Looks like we have a few more folks. Alrighty. Majority is correct. It is in fact, I scream, you scream, we all scream for clean streams. And sometimes we do shorten that to I scream for clean streams and ice cream for clean streams. So thank you all. We are gonna hand it back over to Kelly at this point.
Thank you so much, Jenna, and Lindsay and Andrea. That was just such an incredible presentation. It's amazing to see what happens when different organizations collaborate together. Such innovation is really possible. So thank you for sharing. Also, that game was quite fun. We will now move on to our Q&A. You can ask questions of Jenna, Lindsay, and Andrea using the Q&A button at the bottom of your screen. While you take a moment to enter your questions there, we will just remind you that you should definitely take the Lancaster Water Week Pledge if you have not already. We have 3 pledge pickup locations still through the rest of this week, where you can get your pledge kit, which includes a free native tree or shrub. We also encourage you to join us for other online lectures happening this week, like the History of the Conestoga River tonight, Pollinator and Rain Garden Design tomorrow, Faith in Action, Creation Care for Clean Water Wednesday at 7, and the Hidden World of Stream Insects Friday at noon. We really think that these are really fun smattering of different topics where you can continue to learn about clean streams and rivers and the different aspects of that in our community. And now let's see if we have a few questions here. Again, you can just use that Q&A button at the bottom of your screen to ask any questions that you might have. One question that is top of mind for me is with like the tree plantings, what kind of support do the farmers get afterwards to continue to manage these different riparian buffers that are installed as you guys continue to move forward with the partnership?
So any tree planting that the Alliance puts in the ground, we maintain for 3 years, because 3 years is about the period of time that our small trees need to fully mature and be able to survive and thrive on their own. So we will either hire someone to come out and do that work, come out and do it ourselves, or in some cases we actually pay the farmer to do it, or the landowner, just because we want to be conscious of their time and that, their time is extremely valuable. So the money that we would put toward a contractor, we sometimes actually pay the farmer to have, his, sons do it, etc.
Oh, what great support. We have a question from Anne. Where can you find the details on the conservation program for farmers so it can be shared with other types of farmers as well?
If I'm understanding that question correctly, best way to find more information would probably be through the Alliance's website, allianceforthebay.org /THCWP. We also have some, physical material, brochures for our farmers. All farmers that's shipped to Turkey Hill should have received that information at this point. And so I guess one unfortunate piece of this partnership is that unfortunately we can only serve farmers that are shipping, that are members of Maryland Virginia Co-op and shipping to Turkey Hill at this time. But if there's other farmers that are in need of help, absolutely the Alliance would be happy to figure out a way to support them. So certainly going to our website, or if you wanted to reach out directly to me, I could connect you to our ag manager, who could meet with any farmers interested in implementing any type of conservation practice.
Fantastic.
Jenna, you can probably go into some of the grants and what the grants are supporting, because that's really driving the conservation on farm.
Yeah, so we've received multiple grants from the National Fish and Wildlife Foundation, from NRCS, and we are now, we also support our farmers in going after PennVest funds and EQIP funds. PennVest is a state cost share program, and EQIP is a federal cost share program. And so there's also additional opportunities that you could work with the Lancaster County Conservation District, or whatever county the farm is located in their conservation district, and then also their NRCS office. Many opportunities out there. There's also a Conservation Excellence Grant Program right now. That's additional funds that have come from both EPA and the state that the county conservation districts now have access to, that farmers can apply for themselves. But if a farmer needs support in preparing that application, the Alliance would be happy to support them with that as well.
That's great. I'm curious, in talking with other businesses and industries as you started sharing about this program, have you seen any other businesses want to take up a similar model or inquire about trying to take a similar model to scale in their own industry?
Do you want me to answer that, Lindsay, or do you want to take the first stab at that?
I'll take the first stab, sure. When we created the Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership, I know one of the goals of the project was creating a partnership that could be replicated, whether it's in dairy or another commodity, and we have started that process. Since we started the project, we've expanded to 2 of our other customers, and I feel like anytime I have a conversation with one of our dairy customers, they're asking about sustainability and what's happening, and we introduced the idea of creating a similar type of partnership. So we are in process right now of creating a partnership with a supermarket that's located in Maryland, and they have already started, and it's interesting the way they started by selling reusable bags, which it hits, on supporting the environment in another way. But the money raised from the reusable bags will be used to really start the funding for the project. But the ultimate goal is to get some grant dollars to implement a sustainable supply chain for them. And then we've had another very large dairy customer that worked with the Alliance and with us. The Alliance was able to get a conservation innovation grant to support a dairy farmer-led sustainability project. So we not only looked at environmental sustainability, but we looked at the animal welfare, workforce, really all elements of sustainability on the farm, and piloted some new models with how to deliver these programs. So we've had a lot of interest and are always looking for ways to partner, and the Alliance has really been key to identifying resources and solutions in these partnerships.
Thank you, Lindsay. Andrea, a question for you. What has the Turkey Hill consumer feedback been since you started this project? What are consumers saying to you about this initiative?
Well, we bribed them with ice cream. No, I'm just kidding. No, actually, it's been really positive, and honestly, it's an eye-opener. I mean, even for myself, there's so much information. Lindsay said it herself too when they were talking. There's a lot of learnings and a lot of findings that come with this partnership, and each step of the way progress. So they're really excited about it. They're excited to learn more. They might not understand everything, but that's what the partnership is here for, to engage with them, to inform them in bite-sized pieces. We don't want to overwhelm our consumers, but they've been really receptive to it, whether it be a social media post or we're hands-on having conversation with them at a sampling. They love it. I'm kind of going back to what I said earlier. Environmental green initiatives have been a big thing for Turkey Hill for probably 20 plus years. And one finding that we're seeing in the last couple of years is 20 plus years ago, we would of course be doing programs like this, green initiatives, and they're still growing, they're great. Back then, consumers would be like, okay, that's cool, whatever. But we're finding now, and this is a great thing, but we're finding now that consumers are almost demanding that. And they're looking for brands, they're looking for partnerships, they're looking for organizations that are doing this kind of stuff. And that's great. That's awesome. That's what we're wanting them. We want them to start thinking about it. We want them to go to the frozen aisle and say, I'm purchasing this ice cream and I feel really good about it because Turkey Hill is doing X, Y, and Z with this partnership and this organization. And so the demand for it is there, the interest is there. And so consumers are definitely looking for it. They definitely want it. They're definitely requiring it. A lot of times we're out shopping in the grocery stores these days.
That's great. A very serious question now for each of you. Which is your favorite Turkey Hill ice cream flavor?
I'm gonna go with vanilla bean. Can't go wrong.
That's so funny. I was gonna say the same thing. I love.
Oh.
I'm gonna say probably all natural mint chocolate chip. I'll get a little more creative. It's hard to say. I have 2 young kids, so I feel like our flavor selection changes every day. And I'm quite spoiled to work at the dairy. So yeah, I would say that's our favorite go-to, but that changes too.
Peanut butter ripple is also very good.
That sounds very
peanut butter. Yeah. What's your favorite, Kelly?
I am unfortunately lactose intolerant, but I do enjoy Turkey Hill Dairy iced tea very much. And as a reminder, everyone can get Turkey Hill ice cream and Turkey Hill drinks and beverages at our pledge packet pickups that are happening on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday this week. Definitely a good way to cool off in the summer. I want to take a second just to thank Jenna, Lindsay, and Andrea again. We really appreciate you taking the time today to share about the partnership and answer questions. And I want to remind everyone that this has been recorded. We will be sharing it in an email with you all after the fact here in the next 2 days, so keep an eye out for that. We'll also make sure to link to the Alliance's Turkey Hill Clean Water Partnership page for additional resources and information. I want to take a second here to pass it back over to Fritz for some final words.
Thanks, Kelly, and thank you, Jenna, Lindsay, and Andrea. I'll go back to the beginning of the presentation when Jenna showed the health of our local waterways, all the red lines and impaired streams in PA, and particularly Lancaster County. This is the challenge we face as an entire community. All of us as property owners and residents contribute to the problems and can contribute to the solutions. To hear Lindsay express the majority of the farms have their conservation plans completed, that 22 projects are in progress, and that the partnership has a commitment to finding the funding to support the farmers, planning and implementation moving forward is real and substantial progress and to be commended. And for Turkey Hill Dairy, one of Lancaster's most iconic brands, to make this level of commitment with your PA suppliers, I answered that question incorrectly, along with all of your many green initiatives, shows an inspiring level of commitment to Lancaster County. We thank all of you for your investment in clean streams and rivers. With that, I want to thank everyone for attending and wish you a wonderful afternoon. Thanks, everyone.